The Murdaugh murders. Is there going to possibly be a retrial? You remember Alex Murdaugh was found guilty in a double homicide for killing his wife and his son. That all happened in March. And now his other son, the only one who's surviving and on the outside, Buster, trying to get the ruling overturned. Or now we're learning that maybe some evidence was tampered with. We do have our official attorney, Lanier, on the phone to kind of help us sort it all out. Do you think that Alex Murdaugh is going to be given a second chance?
Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, this was quite a bombshell. I was really kind of amazed at the allegations against the clerk of court. What has happened here is that Alex Murdaugh's team is asking for an FBI investigation into the actions of the clerk of court and the jurors. They're alleging that there was jury tampering by Rebecca Hill, who was the clerk of court. And they're making some really serious allegations, and they have two sworn statements from jurors to back up their claims. So it's a little bit, that's more than a little bit concerning. So what they're alleging is that she asked jurors their opinions about Murdaugh's guilt or innocence, that she instructed jurors to not believe the evidence that was presented by his defense team, that she lied to the judge to remove a juror that she believed was going to enter a not guilty vote, and that she pressured the jurors to reach a guilty verdict so that she could then write her book and profit from it, which she did.
Dang.
She's further accused of, I mean, it's crazy, of taking jurors into the bathroom and having one-on-one chats with them, which is completely out of line, including the jury foreperson, which is terrible. And that they say, if this is all true, it's terrible. They say that there were several smokers on the jury and that she would not let them have smoke breaks, they say. They're alleging that she would tell them, you won't get a smoke break until you come up with a verdict, to try to press them to hurry through and get the verdict.
Because she wanted her to write this book. Wow.
Right. That's what they say. And they said that she was handing out reporters' business cards to jurors. And they say that she told jurors, don't be fooled by the defense evidence and to watch Murdaugh carefully to see when he's lying. I mean, it was crazy. So they have two. So the defense team reached out to all the jurors, and some of the jurors were very antagonistic toward that contact. But two of them came forward, four of them, they say, actually corroborate all of this, but two of them signed sworn statements to this effect.
Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah. No, go ahead. So, I mean, it's a very serious allegation. The clerk of court, it's a little different in South Carolina. Where I am in North Carolina, clerk of court is almost, in a lot of instances, a de facto judge. And it's a little bit different, I think, in South Carolina. I think they're a little bit less powerful there. Here in North Carolina, they oversee divorces, name changes, adoptions. They're collections agents for the court. They issue warrants, all kinds of things. In South Carolina, I think it's a little more limited role, more like docket management and collection of court fees. And I think more contact with the courtroom in terms of what, in North Carolina, what you think of as a bailiff doing. This was some of the contact with the jury and moving them around and giving them breaks and things like that. It sounds like in South Carolina, the clerk of court does all that. Which that gives her an opportunity to have a lot of contact with them, which if it was inappropriate, he's going to get a new trial.
So that's what I was going to ask.
Wow.
So the charges would be, not charges, but the conviction would be overturned for the moment, and there'd be a new trial.
He would get a new trial. He probably would not get out of jail because he's already entered a guilty plea to a bunch of federal charges related to not to these murders, but to the other charges against him, the embezzlement and the issue with I think some of the money that he stole from the housekeeper's family and that sort of thing. So he's entered a guilty plea that would keep him in prison, but it would get him a new trial on the murder charges. And I do think, if she did all of this stuff, if she did, then he deserves a new trial, because that's, you can't expect a jury to look at somebody in this position of power telling them he's guilty, basically, and not believe that influenced the outcome.
Even the worst of people deserve a fair trial.
Well, we know that he's done horrible, horrible things, but at least he deserves to have the fairness of it. Lisa, why is there not some sort of law in place that forbids, kind of like a blanket law where you are not allowed to talk about or profit from, but how is she?
Those are the rules.
But how is she going to write a book?
I think that's after the fact. I don't know.
So after the fact, you can write a book about what happened. But what the rules are that she's not supposed to engage in this kind of conversation. the problem is South Carolina, the laws are pretty loosey-goosey about punishing her. And so if she is charged criminally, then, and it sounds like only then, the governor can suspend her, not even remove her, but suspend her. So I think these people, it's South Carolina, it just sounds like it's the same thing that got Murdaugh, where he is, just this thing of I can do whatever I want, this like sort of unchecked power. And the clerk of court, she immediately flew to New York, started giving interviews, wrote this book. And they say that that's what upset some of these jurors. And they were like, wow, like she was really, they get, I think what the spin is, at least by the defense team, is that these jurors were upset thinking they really began to get that she was inappropriate. And they began to question, was she doing this for financial gain? She wanted to ramrod this verdict through so she could write her book.
You would think that there would be some sort of
like somebody watching, like, hey, where are you going?
Well, no, I mean, even like for example, with like a contract where you can't work, you can't for us example, you can't go somewhere for a certain amount of time after your career.
Oh, you mean like to write a book?
Yeah, like there should be a certain amount of time that has to pass for you to be able, because otherwise you can totally see why people would be pushing it along. Like, hurry up, I want to tell my side of the story.
Oh, yeah, in most of the higher profile criminal cases, everybody writes a book about it. OJ, you get judges, you get all the prosecutors, the defense team, everybody writing books about these big cases. And yeah, I mean, maybe it's having a bad effect on the justice system in some instances. And here, what they're after, they want to open an inquiry. They want to get text message. Apparently, there's a group chat that's going around with the jurors. They want to get their hands on that. They want to get their hands on the clerk of court's emails, and they think that that's really going to show. And they're going to force these people to testify under oath. They want all the jurors to have to testify under oath because a lot of them don't want to cooperate, and they want to make them cooperate, put them on the record, and find out what really happened. And I mean, he will get a new trial if it's proven to be true.
Well, in this new interview that Buster, he sat down and was talking about how he not only still fears, he basically said, I feel safe at nighttime because he feels like he's put some security in place that does protect him, but he thinks that the killer's still out there and thinks that his father was done wrong.
Would you say you think the police didn't do the job?
There's an awful lot of pressure on a law enforcement entity to come up with a suspect. I think it's one of those things where you have to do something, and I think that that's the option and the route that they decided to go with. My biggest thing that I want people to realize that there are always two sides of the story. Now, they can pick which one they want to believe, but I think there's a heck of a lot that still needs to be answered about what happened on June the 7th.
Interesting.
And here's something even more interesting for you if you're a big fan of, which is terrible because people lost their lives, but the Murdaugh murder is being made into I believe a 2-part Lifetime series, October 15th.
Oh, wow. They turn those things out pretty quick.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Well, she's great. Oh, wait, Jason, you have a question for Lisa about Squid?
No.
Okay. All right. You wrote Squid on a piece of paper and showed it to me during the segment.
No, I don't.
So that's a little confusing. I didn't know if you caught him doing illegal activities.
Yeah, right? Chill.
Okay.
I mean, Squid was propositioned by a prostitute when he was in New Orleans.
Because he's an idiot and didn't realize that she was propositioning him.
He hung out with her for like an hour, and then she's like, "You going to pay me?" He's
more like 2 hours.
What?
2 hours. He's like, "Wait, what?"
I thought we were soulmates.
But I guess he's
what?
but he didn't pay, so he was like, "Oh no." He got mad.
If I had $1 for every time you guys say you have a legal question about Squid,
you can retire. She's great. Official attorney of Jared and Katie in the Morning. If you're ever injured on the job, contact her right away at hireaheavyweight.com.
Yeah, that it's called the Murdaugh Murders, and it's Lifetime's holding a 2-night event. Bill Pullman is playing Alex Murdaugh, and it's going to be on Lifetime Saturday, October 14th and Sunday, October 15th at 8 p.m.
How'd they do that? It was like during the writer's strike. That's interesting. Or maybe it was right before.
Yeah, maybe.
Is that still on, Jared?
Yes.
4 months, I think, now.
You know, I have a movie that's being held up by it. And I talked to the actor and then the money man, and they're like, hopefully by the end of the year it'll be done. And said, but the studios are like, have things lined up. Let's go.
Okay, then.
So a lot of things will be made.
Okay.
If it ends this year, they have a lot of stuff that they have it all ready to go.
I think we're going to have a product stoppage, basically, as right now is going to cause a big problem with what we're going to watch. Even though they're going to be quick with it,
There's going to be a gap.
There's going to be a big gap of new stuff coming out.
Yeah. Although it's going to take me 500 years to watch what I'm already paying for.
Right.
You know?
It's
But even
Catch
in
up on all
theaters,
that. Well,
it's not
there's
good
that.
for theaters.
That's
They've
true.
already had a big struggle during the pandemic.
And they finally came back. Somebody did say, like, have you noticed any difference in your programming? I'm like, not really. But
because-
eventually it's going to catch up.
Yeah.
And Cobra Kai, Jason, season 5.
Yeah, and I noticed
Coming out next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I noticed that my wife, is every single movie she's putting on, it seems to be dubbed over foreign movies. Like she's already gone. Like there's tons of foreign movies that we keep watching from other countries. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a substitute either, where they just dub over the English.
She's watched everything.
In America.
Well, I don't know if she watched everything, but she's not finding anything else she's to consume.
Katie.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Well,
when you reach a certain level of wealth, then you only watch foreign films.
Yeah.
I swear.
You're so cultured.
My like default statement is no, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, it just seems like every movie.
Netflix
that
does seem to have more of those.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's funny. She's just like, oh, I finished Netflix.
maybe it's just coming up. I like these, or she's not interested. Whatever the top.
Okay.
Because it is it looks like it's like normal, and then all of a sudden you look at the lips, and they're not matching up what the voiceover is.
Yeah, it's not like an
Interesting.
old school kung fu movie. You're like, what's happening?
I don't know what's
That used to
happening.
make me laugh back
Those
in
are
the
the
day.
best.
I don't
Yes.
know.